Hello, everyone, and welcome along to episode 166 of the This Is the Music Meets podcast. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any brand new episodes. And don't be shy, drop us a comment as I would love to hear from you. I'm delighted to be joined today by Panhead Sharps, a band who are building some serious momentum on the Scottish alternative scene. They are making a name for themselves with their raw energy, powerful live shows, and a growing reputation across some of Scotland's most iconic grassroots venues. In this episode, we're going to be chatting about all of their live music, the difference to the crowds in Scotland and in England, their thoughts on the current Scottish music scene, looking back at their single Left Behind, and also their creative process as well. So it is
Oh,
a very warm welcome to John and Michael of Panhead Sharps. Thanks very much for coming on to episode 166 of the podcast. How you both
no
doing?
bother. I'm good, Mark.
Oh,
Yourself, you all right?
man.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. It's just a cool Brit. It's just started to rain in the part of the world that I'm in, and yeah, never happy. He's always moaning about the weather, right? But
Oh, it's rained every day up here, mate, so I know all about that. Like, you know what I mean?
it's yeah, it's terrible. Let's hope the spring and summer days creep up on us pretty
Oh, I
quick,
can't
right? Because
wait.
it's
I can't wait for the better weather, man.
yeah, definitely. So 2020, sort of the start of, or back into 2025, and then into sort of like the start of this year has obviously been quite busy for you, really, in terms of gigs. But how's 2026 been treating Panhead Sharp so far?
2026 has been, we kind of crashed in with 2 feet because we played Manchester on Friday there. And, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it the way we done it at the Eagle Inn. It was mental.
Yeah,
We supported our mates, the Battery Farm, good Manchester punk band, and it was crazy, mate. The Eagle Inn's such an iconic venue, you know what I mean? Stepping back into time because as you're in a built-up area and then you see this wee dainty, old school 1902 pub, but then when you go inside, it's alive in there, you know what I mean? And it was some night, man. It was really good day.
yeah. Oh, that's really good to hear. I have heard a lot of good things about it, but I've not made the venture up to that part of the, well, in specifically to that gig, to that venue, sorry, up there in Salford. Oh, yeah, just outside of Manchester, obviously. But
Aye.
yeah, no, hopefully
De-
one
de-
day.
Definitely recommend that if you can get up there for the gig, mate. It was class. A
Yeah,
real cozy pub, you know what I mean? But then the venue through the back's wild, mate. It was fast and hard and loud, and the drink starts flowing, and then that was it. But it was honestly cracking boozer, like cracking
yeah.
boozer.
It's good to hear. Just what we want to hear. Just and yeah, what a great sort of backdrop as well.
Oh,
For a
aye.
gig by the sounds of it. Michael, I come to you this one first. Obviously, Panhead Sharps, you've been releasing music since 23.
Mhm.
For anyone that might be discovering you for the first time, how would you describe Panhead Sharps and sort of the sound that you've been building, over the since 2023?
Oh, that's a hard one to describe the sound. I think with the latest single, it's a bit more punky, it's a bit more fast paced.
Mhm.
Where if you go back to what I've become, it's more bass driven, a lot of drums, a lot of guitar, like that
Aye.
kind of train and going along. I think we're like it's a hard one. It's a hard one.
I would say one word to describe us: loud. So one of the best things that I personally take it as a high compliment, but when people come to us at the end of a gig and they go, "I can't believe there was only three on stage," I'm like, we've done what we meant to do. It's brilliant, man.
The old ringing in the ears as well afterwards as well,
Oh
right?
aye, oh aye.
Brilliant. Obviously, one of the reasons that we're here on episode 166 of the podcast is to talk about your biggest headline show to date at PJ Molly's. in Dunfermline on February the 21st. It's an absolutely cracking venue for those that haven't ever been there before.
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's such a. I saw Shambolics there. Oh, blimey, what year was that? 17, I think, maybe 2018.
I
Yeah,
think that was great.
That would have been mental.
yeah, brilliant. But love those boys. Yeah, really good band. So for you personally, for both of you really, to sort of answer this, how much then does it mean to be playing, such a, an important venue, sort of on that, sort of grassroots venue up there on, the Scottish scene?
I mean, it's kind of so that we are from Dunfermline,
Right.
so to headline there, it kind of means everything because when I was a lad or a young lad, if you like, and that's where I was kind of like, that's where I first witnessed live music and open mics and bands, and I was going to see bands like the Drayman and the Modern Faces and stuff like that, and I think that's probably the first time where I was kind of like, I want a slice of that. That
Yeah.
looks cool. You know what I mean? And then you pick up a guitar, you learn Wonderwall, and that's you. You know what I mean? You're away doing bad covers, and then you get a band together. But I think like to get the chance to headline there because we've supported a lot of bands there and stuff. It's always been good. You know what I mean? But to kind of have your banner up and say, right, this is our show. I think that's going to be quite cool and maybe a big eye opener to see. Because we've been building up and building up, or at least we think we've been building up and building up. We hope we've been building up and building up. So to kind of come back and say, here we are, let's do this. We'll see just, who's listening, who's no. So it's going to be really cool. I'm buzzing, man. I can't wait. You know what I mean? It's going to be amazing, eh? And you're buzzing.
Oh, I'm ecstatic.
Plus a hometown gig. We've got a studio just round the back, so we don't need to have gear. You know what I mean?
That's always the worst bit.
I mean, sometimes getting the gear back for Glasgow when you've had about 9 pints is like, you know what I mean? How are we going to do this? But you always get it back, but you don't know how. You know what I mean?
It's in bits, and yeah, I can imagine. Obviously, to promote the gig, you've obviously been doing a lot on the social media side of things. How do you find that? Do you enjoy doing that side of things? Yeah, or do you hate it?
I would say that we do. I've always kind of sat in front of the camera and tried to do and it works. Don't get me wrong. You've got to promote your gig. Blah blah blah. I'm playing here on such and such, and it never really felt that natural to me. So I think the way we are doing the wee skits, I think that's funnier. Like people on social media want to see you make a bit of an arse of yourselves. If you've got a slick back and a suit on, people are going to click on it twice. You know what I mean? It was something like if you said to me 5 years ago, you'll be making videos for TikTok and blah, 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 I would have said, no, I won't be. But now that we've kind of got the ball rolling, it's just, right, what's funny, what works, let's think of something. I think it's quite, you actually enjoy doing your promo, and it's funny when you hear people at a gig say, oh, that you were so funny there, or when we painted Michael Gold for the King Tut's promo, and we actually said like if it sells out, Michael will go gold on stage, and bloody hell, it sold out. but we didn't paint him gold, but he went out with the Pharaoh's hat on, and it went down a storm, man. There's a local pub to us, and she's actually got the Pharaoh's hat up above the bar.
Oh,
so
brilliant.
That's quite cool when we go in to see that. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's been a lot of fun, man. It's been a lot of fun, like.
Brilliant. I love that, and yeah, a nice little reminder there as well of that moment. That's absolutely great. But Michael, what then maybe for people that haven't come and seen Panhead Sharps yet, what can they expect from a Panhead Sharps gig?
Well, a Panhead Sharps gig, we've already went by it. It's loud. It's always loud. It's energetic. It's a lot of shouting. You've got pink shades on. You can't describe it. You've just got to come. You've got to be there to really experience and understand it. It's a bit of madness.
It's crazy, eh?
Oh yeah.
And you was obviously just mentioning there about the King Tuts with the, the Pharaoh's outfit and all of that sort of stuff. Have you got anything special planned on the 21st of Feb?
uh, well, we've been doing a promo. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm a fake compensation lawyer
Yeah.
and blah blah blah. So right, I'll say it here. We'll put it on the record. PJ sells out. You'll see a lawyer playing guitar. I'll slick the hair back. That'll be it.
I had to do a double. Actually, I was watching it earlier. I had to do a double take to make sure it was you, John, to be honest.
Everybody's saying to me, "Is that your new hairstyle?" I'm saying, "No, well."
And maybe a photo as well hanging in the local boozer as well afterwards.
Oh, that would be it,
You've made it.
Compensation for you.
It was a sort of a little bit of a you must have seen it like Breaking Bad, with Saul, the lawyer in there.
Aye,
That's just what I was thinking when I saw that.
that's brilliant. A few people said that, like.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's good. I'm glad I'm roughly on the same page then. So let's talk about then a couple of sort of support slots that you've done that you had in 2025. First of all, indie royalty in Kyle Falconer at PJ Molly's. That was back in December. So how then did that opportunity come about, and what did it mean to you boys? Sharing a bill with someone that has had some fantastic tunes out and albums as well over the years, and
Mhm.
he's obviously so respected, isn't he, up there in Scotland?
What, you want to take this one?
Well, when I first heard about it, I was in Newcastle for a gig away, and John phones me up and he goes, "Michael, guess what?" It's like, "What?" And I was a wee bit tired, a wee bit sleep deprived. I was getting ready, and he goes, "We're supporting Kyle Falconer at PJ's." It's like, "What?" Kyle Falconer at PJ's. Oh,
I think he thought I was taking the piss.
you can't believe it. I mean,
Uh,
it's like that was one of those moments. It's like, wow, you start to feel like a real band.
aye. That for us, that was like, okay, so maybe people are listening. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The, when I was young, I'd been to see The View countless times, man. Like honestly, at one point, me and my mate were practically following them, up and down Scotland. Honestly, I was just like, if you said to, again, like 17-year-old me, you'll support Kyle Falconer, I would have said, I'm still learning how to play an E minor. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have believed you at all, eh? Like, it'd have been crazy. And it was crazy. And the night was rammed as well. And it was, do you know, I like one of those pinch me moments just before we went on stage. It was like, I think Michael grabbed me and he was like, that, "Look how many people are here." And I was like, I'm trying not to, I'm trying not, you're always all right when you're on stage, but I'm like, I'm trying not to, you know what I mean? And it was brilliant, man. Kyle was great as well. And it was such a good night.
It
Eh?
was magic.
Yeah. Did he offer sort of, like words of advice or encouragement at all about, your set or what you were doing, or?
He said we had good tunes, which was class. And then we were just chatting and having a laugh and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it was cool, aye. It was really cool. Like, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah, wicked, and obviously, you mentioned earlier on that you just supported the Battery Farm in Manchester, and you're going to be doing it again at Nice and Sleazy in Glasgow on March the 14th. So
Mhm.
how did that connection first come around?
Well, when we were first kind of starting the band, there's a local guy, James Barney Ward, who runs a cracking venue up here, Mark, called McHugh's. And
Yeah, I think I've
he,
heard
he
of that.
he
Yeah.
he was always sort of getting bands up, and they do a lot of punk nights and stuff there. So they'd managed to get them up, and then he said, "Do you want to support these guys?" And we're like, "Aye, sure." You know what I mean? And we kind of heard there was a show called it was A1M Records, and I had heard of them through that. So we were kind of getting played week to week with them. When I got the chance like to play with them, I was like, I'll jump at that. That was great. So we had them up. We hit it off. They're great lads. You know what I mean? Brilliant band as
Mhm.
well. We had them up twice, and then I guess it kind of folded over to for us to go down. and obviously the friendship's still there. It was like we hadn't, been apart really. The guys were still as enthusiastic and nice as they'd always been. So, aye, cracking, man. But I think this is going to be their first gig in Glasgow. So we're excited to get them up because we've been playing Glasgow quite a bit recently, and we've actually got a good wee following there now, and I think it should be a pretty good night, and it'd be good for them to play a big Glaswegian crowd because Glaswegian crowds pop off, man. You know what I mean? They're all really passionate about music.
Glasgow crowd's a bit different. Like,
It's brilliant, man. I think music's rife through there. Like, there's so many bars and there's so many like venues and stuff like that. Like, we were through filming a promo. I think it was on a Sunday night, and we're walking up Sauchiehall Hall Street, and literally band. You know, it was just music filling the street, and it was, that's cracking. That's what you want. Hey, you know what I mean?
What's the I'm trying to. It was a church, I think. Converted church in Glasgow.
Is that St Luke's?
That's the one. Yeah, yeah. Have you have you been there? What do you think of that?
Oh, cracking venue, mate. I'd love to play there. See the
Yeah.
big organ at the back of the stage,
Yeah,
and all the lights are on it. Oh, mate, it was such a vibe, eh? Like, it was really cool.
yeah, yeah. And a decent little bar, in the sort of the back room as well there from
Oh,
memory.
aye, that bar got scalped last time I was there. Like.
There's a theme going here, John.
Aye, are we a band or alkies?
well,
You have to do both. It's rock and roll, right? And obviously, we mentioned there, obviously, you played down at the Eagle Inn in Salford, and obviously, predominantly. So, I think that was your first English gig, am I right in saying? Or one of the first?
I first gig down south full band, but I think the tail end of 2024, me and Michael went on a mini tour with another couple of bands for here. We played Any Volume and Stockton on Tees.
Yeah.
We played the Jacaranda in Liverpool. Brilliant, mate. We had a stripped back set, and just the room was just beautiful, man. The sound guy, Ed Waring, he was brilliant. You know what I mean? We've never sounded so good acoustically. That we were saying there was a touch of magic in the air the night we played the Jacaranda, like, or at least maybe the Red Stripe. I don't know, but we played Carlisle, but that's one to forget because that was a great venue. That's nothing to do with the venue. Just we'd been on it for 3 days, so it was a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And luckily, I think it was last May. We played at Wax and Beans, Mark. In Bury.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's a cracking vinyl shop, man. Like, honestly, everybody was so welcoming and just a vibe.
Yeah, Wax and Beans was great. Everyone was super friendly, and it was really easy to just get in a bit.
That was class, eh?
Yeah, yeah. So how then have you comparing sort of the crowds then from, like in England to Scotland, how do they compare, in terms of I guess like the energy that maybe the crowd bring, I guess like bouncing off of what you boys are bringing to the stage as we were discussing earlier.
I think obviously the first sort of 4 we played down south were acoustic. So everybody was very complimentary, and we were sort of stripping the tunes back to the bare bones, so it was quite chill. Everybody enjoyed it, but full band in Salford last week, crazy, man. I felt like we kind of had to win them over though, which is fine because they didn't know us. But once we won them over, the energy was just as big as it is up here.
Really?
Obviously, we've got a wee following up here, and they're crazy bastards, man. So the energy's always going to be a wee bit better up here because of those guys. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
just as big in Salford, man.
Yeah,
it's good, like.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm from down south, and I do often hear that. I know I've experienced Scotland a couple of times for gigs, and yeah, absolutely phenomenal. And I've been a couple in sort of Manchester as well. Again, brilliant. Whereas down here, down south London, it's a different beast. So I think you have to get the right people for that gig in.
Right place, right time.
Yeah, basically,
Aye.
it's a bit strange. I don't really quite understand it, but anyway, there you go. You obviously have played some of Scotland's most iconic grassroots venues. You know, you played King Tut's, Audio in Glasgow, Legends in Edinburgh, Clark's as well in Dundee. So
Mhm.
for you, then, really, again, for both of you, have you got like a one venue there that sort of like stands out the most in terms of maybe you had a brilliant gig there or the sound or something. So yeah, what I should have mentioned PJ
Yeah.
Moddies as well in there. But yeah, what stands out for you?
I think for me, there's two that stand out. It's Sneaky Pete's in Edinburgh.
And that was one of our first Edinburgh gigs with this feeling.
Right.
And we call it Sneaky's One for reference because we played there a few times, but that was pretty magic.
Sneaky's it's such a tight venue. Everyone's right there in front of the stage.
Aye.
It's loud. It's the perfect venue for us.
That was class.
It was an amazing.
Aye.
Yeah. I think number two is McCool's in Glasgow.
That was our Glasgow debut.
Our Glasgow debut. That was one of the best nights of my life.
That was class. We played there with Box of Trash, Mark, and
Love them.
another band called Park Safely. That was our sort of first foot into Glasgow, and that was a mad evening. Like the boozer itself is brilliant, the atmosphere's amazing, and it popped off. That was probably the first gig where I said, "Are we mental?" You know what I mean? Like that was a crazy night, man. Crazy. I'd say King Tut's was pretty special.
King Tut's that's the dream, man.
It's quite electric in there, man. We've been lucky enough to play there twice. Hopefully we'll get a third time. It's been brilliant in there. Even going up the stairs and that, and you're thinking, when you see all the names on the stairs and you're like,
Yeah,
I listen to them. They're on my daily playlist. They're legends. You know what I mean? And you're thinking, how do we get on the stairs? You know what I mean?
yeah, it will happen. It will happen. Keep working at it, I'm sure. From your perspective, then, looking, obviously, you just mentioned a couple of Scottish bands there, and sort of looking, maybe sort of slightly further afield as well. How strong would you say at the moment that the Scottish music scene is?
I think it's the strongest it's been.
I think it's thriving at the minute. There's so many good bands that are smashing it, to be rubbing shoulders with some of the people we're rubbing shoulders with as well. Like, you've got the Castros, Tonto, who else, man? You know what I mean?
Frubs.
The Frubs, aye, exactly.
You've got so many bands. Everywhere you go right now there's always a big band there and everyone knows them, and it's a great environment at the moment.
I'd say it's booming, man. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, it's good to see because sometimes I think that again, maybe it's just being here. I don't know, but I'm fortunate to do what I do, and obviously I hear quite a few of the bands there that you've mentioned and feature them and stuff like that. But I think in sort of as a more general observation that people seem to forget about there is a Scottish music scene going on up there. As you say, those bands that you've mentioned, and you're rightly in there in the mix as well, are proving that open your eyes a little bit. There are other bands out there.
Oh, aye, they're flying the flag and they're flying it high. Yeah. It's I've spoke to a few people from down south, and we kind of were under the idea that it was booming down there, just from our experiences, and then everybody we spoke to have said that it's booming up here. So we're actually like, where the fuck is it booming?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, is it up here? Is it down there? You know what I mean? But aye, it's been mad, eh? Because remember Johnny said that for La La Land.
Aye.
He comes up to Scotland a lot. He's one of our good pals, and
Yeah,
he thinks Edinburgh's absolutely on fire for bands now, which it probably is, to be fair. Eh? Like, I think as soon as like Wednesdays to maybe Sunday night, there's bands on every night of the week. Eh? You know what I mean? There's even the odd Monday night gig that you suffer at work on Tuesday for staying up late. I would say that Glasgow is absolutely booming for gigs. Cause I've been to so many gigs, Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, the Barrowlands, places like that, and you're like, Ken, like you're seeing the DMAs in the Barrowlands on a Monday night, and I'm like, what? You know what I mean? So even the grassroots, there's loads of banging gigs that are kicking off Thursday nights and that,
Aye, 100%.
Yeah, it's funny you saying, there is that, how it's booming and that, because I tend to agree when I look at this, like with what I'm doing, that there doesn't actually appear to be like that many bands that are from London or maybe even the surrounding areas. That it seems to still be, Manchester, Liverpool, Glasgow, Edinburgh. They seem to
Aye.
be the places that most of these bands, and I feel sometimes they have like a better connection with what they're coming across within their lyrics and stuff like that. Not to knock any of the bands, of course, that are from down here, but I just think there seems to be
Aye.
more bands in up further up north. But who knows? Who knows where it's booming? Most important thing is there's music out there, and it's not,
Oh,
it's
aye,
proper
definitely,
music and
man.
none of this, Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran and all this manufactured rubbish. Hey,
I think more than ever, I'm feeling like, and I don't know if it's just because obviously social media is so much more prominent, but I feel like there's so many people that want, like yourself, man, they want to talk about music, like they want to dissect somebody's new single. People like Bonnie Scotland Presents up here. She's staunch for the music scene. She's pushing gigs, pushing bands, pushing promos, stuff like that. I feel like more than ever, people are want to talk about it. People are want to push it. Um, I don't know, man. I think it is like music is at the forefront of fucking. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but like,
I think it's at the front. I think anyone you speak to now, it's kind of hard if you're in a city like Glasgow, it's hard to get away from it.
aye, there's always music everywhere. Aye, music is booming. Aye, aye. I went on a wee side quest there, man. I was trying to make a total good point there, but I couldn't think. Like,
it's all
oh
good.
no,
We knew exactly what you meant there. But just sort of coming away from this music scene a little bit and coming back onto yourselves. Let's have a little chat about your most recent single, Left Behind. It came out in July last year and it's had a really good impact.
oh aye.
So how, looking back, what are we 6 months near enough or so, I think roughly, when you look back on that track, sort of, how well do you think it has been received, and did it surprise you? Did it, with the reaction that it's had, or were you always thinking, do you know what, this is a really good tune and it's going to get that connection?
To be honest with you, when we put that one together, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was as strong as some of our other stuff. So it really surprised me how well that got received. And see, playing it live, it's a tune that'll bring the night up. You know what I mean? I think it's became one of our strongest tunes. It kind of pops off, and even like the review you gave it when I read that, I thought, oh man, this tune must be better than I think it is. You know what I mean? So I think it's probably the tune that surprised me the most when we released it.
Yeah. Do you, and obviously that's talking about sort of like the record, how has it been received when it's been played live?
Pretty good,
Pretty good, aye.
pretty good, man. I think the start of the build up with the drums and the snare and the chords. You can see people in the crowd bracing themselves. They're like, right, here we go. I'm going to jump about for this one. You know what I mean? So it's been a song that we've started merging it. We've joined that up with When You're Falling. So we run the two songs into one, and running into that. Obviously, people know we do it now, but I think at the garage in Glasgow is the first time we done it. And oh man, it was so exciting because nobody knew what was happening. And then we started going into that, and then you could see people like, oh, here we go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
aye, live it's been class, man.
Yeah, I think that's quite good as well, though, to do that because you don't always see meant too many bands really doing something there that you've just described. A lot of them get to the end of the song and then I quite like that really because it I guess it keeps the momentum going from the previous track and
Oh, aye.
just just hits people.
I think that what we try to do when we're playing live is make sure there's no too much dead space, because you know yourself, you go in the gigs and we know ourselves guitar malfunctions and pedal malfunctions on stage, and the bad stuff, that you can lose a crowd like that. You know what I mean? So, well, I'll engage. We'll engage with the crowd. We'll even jump into the crowd. Stuff. But it's just to keep everybody on the hook. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to slow. Obviously, when you play a slow song, you know what I mean. That's fine, but you want to keep everybody gripped, and you want to keep all eyes on the band. I think if you can do that, you're really getting people to actually listen to your songs. You know what I mean? Instead of just, I'm at a gig, it's loud. You know what I mean?
No, definitely I do. And kind of like then as a band, how then does the sort of the songwriting process work within Panhead Sharps? You all chipping in with the with the creative process? How does it work?
Aye, we all chip in. I can maybe come to the studio with some chords, or Michael will have a bass line. Neil's only joined the band. When did he join the band? Maybe 6 months ago. Yeah. Maybe 6 months ago. So Neil's, I mean, he's a great drummer. He can put a beat to anything. He's a real dark horse on that guy. He's absolutely incredible. I think it's kind of, if you hear something in the studio, because we'll go to practice the set or whatever, and then Michael will start playing something. Oh, stop. Play that again. Right, okay, that's cool. And then, a lot of the best songs, well, maybe not the best, but like a lot of the songs that we've kind of wrote have came for jams and random lead lines or random bass lines or that, eh? So, I mean, I like writing lyrics. I feel like if I write lyrics that if this makes sense, like if I write lyrics that mean something to me, I'm going to perform them so much better. Rather than writing down, something that kind of maybe sounds cool, but it doesn't really mean something, But if I'm writing something and I'm like, that's about that, in my mind, I'm going to sing that better, you know what I mean? That might sound silly, but,
No, not at all. Because I think, it is important to have that connection with the song, not just as an artist, but, also as well to, people like me or, other, music fans as well. That, they can get that connection. And I think, that like the passion as well for that particular song that you're playing comes across as well.
100%, man. You know what I mean? And I think some of the best things that have been said to me after the gig is when someone's come up and they've been like, I've felt like that before. And you know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, so you were actually, like listening, like, wow, it's crazy to see that your lyrics are resonating with people. And we've got a slow song, I Guess This Is Goodbye. And, I've got some big burly mates, and you see them with like a tear running down the eye and that. And I'm like, whoa, man, like that's, and it, so when your lyrics are resonating with people, it means so much more, eh? It's crazy, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree totally 100% there of what you're saying, because I think, again, it's it must mean a lot more as well. You're just saying there about your mates, with a few tears on that tune, and it must mean a hell of a lot to you boys seeing that, like, that reaction.
Oh, it's brilliant, man. That is. If Scott doesn't cry at the gigs, I get upset now.
You will cry.
You held it together. How dare you?
I'm going to make you cry. So on every This Is the Music Meets podcast, I like to sort of like finish it off with a sort of quick fire round. I don't know why I called it that. It's the only name that I can think of.
I like it.
But we'll that marketing meeting was very quick that day when I come up with that idea. But this again, both of you just jump in at any time, but specifically this first question, or actually a couple of them are for both of you to answer. So the first one is, what are your top 3 albums of all time?
I'll go first.
I'm gonna go at number 1. It's Amphetamine Ballads by the Amazing Snakeheads.
I would agree with that for my number 1.
Oh, okay. I've not come across that.
Glasgow band.
Serial Killer Rock.
That's exactly it.
Check them out, Mark. Well, they're not a band anymore, but cracking band.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You're going to have to stick The Wall in there.
The Wall, Pink
Floyd, The Wall's in there, man. I showed you that recently.
I only just listened to that. What?
Too much. Gonna have to start and call you Roger Waters.
Oh, I'm ready for it.
What's your third?
Oh, see, I'm a really. I grew up on a lot of hard rock and that, so for me, one of my albums that holds a special place is Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses. Some of those Duff McKagan bass lines, it's a bit cheesy, but I love that album.
Trying to hang. I would say third album, Joy as an Act of Resistance by Idols, man. That's
Nice.
probably up there for me. Although honourable mentions to the new Fontaine's DC album.
Oh, that is a
because
great
that's
album.
kick-ass. That's
Is
a brilliant album too.
I've never got into them. I just can't. I don't know what it is. I just don't know.
The new album would be the place to start, Mark,
Would it?
honestly. Aye, because I think that the first few albums are maybe a wee bit niche if it's not your thing. Aye. I mean, definitely, maybe it would have to be in there as well.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Definitely, maybe. Man, it's hard to pick three.
So, what songs have you got on your playlist at the minute? What bands or songs are you sort of digging?
Well, for me, I've had it on non-stop. It's Diego by the Rampants. They're a band for Kilmarnock. They're actually supporting us at PG Malloy's.
Yeah,
I've had them on non-stop. It's their newest single, and it's
catchy.
It's catchy. It's fast-paced. You get that on at work, and it gets you going for the day.
Sorry, what have I been listening to recently? What have I been going on about? I've drew a blank here.
What have you been? What did we have on? You Baby Strange you had on.
Oh, Baby Strange. What's stop
Under the Surface.
Baby Strange, Under the Surface.
Right.
That's they were a band for Glasgow, and they're not together anymore. But I rediscovered their album, and I've had it on repeat. Like, that's really good, man.
Yeah.
3-piece as well.
They're 3-piece.
3-piece. I'm sure they're 3-piece.
They're class.
Okay. What is the best gig that you've ever attended as a fan?
St James's Park, Sam Fender. That was incredible. That was electrifying, man.
Was that the one? Because he played there last year, didn't he? And
I was there last year, and I was there the other year he done it. I think that was 2023. And both of them were incredible, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've got to go. It was the I saw the Libertines at the Barrowlands, and that was a special experience. They were amazing. It was my first time at the Barrowlands too, and it's like, that's amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, nice. Love. Well, yeah, two great gigs that you've mentioned. If you could invite any musician, celebrity, actor to a post-gig after party, who are you going to invite? And I'm sort of getting the impression from what's been going on throughout this that it's going to be pretty boozy.
It's going to be pretty boozy, man. Oh, it would have to be somebody fucking mental.
I don't like.
Who likes tequila the most?
Oh my God, Danny. Me. You'd get a few mad stories of Lemmy in the background, like.
Oh, I thought you said Lemmy. I was going to say, all right, aye, before. Oh, brilliant. Aye, that was good. I was like, fair enough. Oh, man, it'd have to be somebody that could booze, like. Probably somebody for Oasis in the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You got any, Michael? Are you sticking with that?
I go stick with Lemmy, man. I'd love to hear the stories.
And drink his whiskey.
A few Jack and Cokes.
Brilliant, love that. So, what then does the rest of sort of 2026 look like then for Panhead Sharps? Can we expect more singles? You've maybe got like an EP in the works, or you work on an album?
We've been predominantly focusing on gigging, so I think we're going to try and calm down, gigging as much as we have been, and try and get an EP out there, because we've got so many unreleased songs sitting there that, in my opinion, are probably quite a solid EP, Mark. So if we could get an EP out, and then it would be cool to do a support tour, or maybe we can do a wee headline tour here.
That'd be awesome.
You know what I mean? Just to promote the EP, but definitely more recordings in the works because that's kind of our weak spot at the minute, eh? And hopefully, I'd like to get some more support slots this year because I think with the Kyle Falconer support, that made us go, oh man, support slots are the way to go, you know. So if we could get some slots, that would be class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about, I know well, I mean, I don't know how far in advance festivals book all the artists, but are you looking ahead to sort of any potential festival slots this year, or do you think that
I,
might
I,
be?
I've applied for quite a few, so we're kind of waiting to hear back. But I spoke to George Holmes for this feeling. Obviously, we've done a lot of gigs with him,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of giving him a gentle kind of nudge, like, "You got anything for us?" So if we could get something out of that, that would be brilliant. But even if we could get something more local, have we got any festivals lined up for that?
No, I don't think
No.
so. Got out with festival here, but
Aye. Probably something local to kick us off and then jump in with 2 feet if we get offered something good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. It sounds really exciting, to be honest, and I think kind of like what you've just said there about trying to get the support slots as well for, to promote the EP once it's ready. I think is probably the best way to do it because potentially you're playing to a different audience as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not just
Hmm.
in front of your fans, and it. Oh yeah, I like that. That's good. Right, when are they playing next type of thing? So
Aye,
yeah, that's the best way to do
definitely.
it.
Try and pinch someone else's fans, you know? Because we done
Absolutely.
that. Our final gig of last year was at King Tut's and on the 28th, eh? And that was the night after the Kyle support. So we had
Right.
a big gigging weekend and a few of our regulars, if you like, come, which was brilliant, man. Always massively appreciated. But it was quite busy and the predominant people in the room were people we didn't know. Excuse me. And the amount of people who we didn't know that were saying, "Wow, great set." That was probably the most we've ever really had that. Eh? Like it took us about an hour to get out of the venue because people wanted to chat.
Brilliant.
But we welcomed that with open arms,
Yeah.
man. It was so cool, eh? You know, like
Yeah.
that's
that,
a really awesome feeling.
it was awesome,
Really
Mark.
awesome.
It
Yeah.
was really
I can
cool. Like,
imagine. That's the other thing there as well. And I noticed it, and when I was doing me, research into, when you played with Kyle,
mhm.
that Scotland seemed to love doing a gig like on the 27th, the 28th and 29th, whereas down here where I'm from, it's like, oh, week before Christmas, that's it, no more gigs. We'll see you in January. But you seem to, I know you was talking earlier about, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and all that in
Mhm.
Glasgow and everything else. But generally, Scots seem to love live music no matter what time of the year it is.
Oh, you're going to get people out boozing at that time of year. Like, you know what I mean? You're not even thinking about work. So, pint, you know what I mean? Pint, shot, band, repeat.
Brilliant. That is, yeah, it's the best way. It's the only way,
Oh,
in my opinion, to do it. But look, John and Michael, unfortunately, that is the end of the This Is the Music Meets podcast with Panhead Sharps. Thanks very much for joining me for
thanks for having
episode.
Thanks so
us.
much, Mark.
No, honestly, an absolute pleasure. It's nice to finally meet you. I virtually, but type of thing, if you know what I mean. It's
We'll
been a really
hopefully be down your neck of the woods soon enough, mate.
brilliant. Well, fingers crossed, and I'm looking forward to having me eardrums blown out after what you were saying earlier on.
I'll get you a pair of
Um,
earplugs, mate.
well, I'm getting old. I probably do need them. But before I do let you go, can you just let the This Is the Music listeners know the social media platforms that they can find Panhead Sharps on?
Take it away, Mikey.
It's all same on everything. Panhead Sharps at Panhead Sharps. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're on everything. TikTok, um, Spotify, everything.
Spotify,
Panhead
Apple
Sharps.
Music, aye. At
Taking
Panhead
over.
Chat.
Taking over one social media platform at a time.
One tequila at a time.
One
Love that, love that. Look, we'll put those episode links even in the episode bio, as well as along with the ticket link to PJ Molly's on the 21st of February as well. I wish you the best of luck with that gig, and also as well your support slot as well. You've
Thank you
got
so
coming
much.
up with
Cheers.
with Battery Farm as well, and everything else, because it certainly sounds like you've got some really, really exciting plans in the works, not just for the rest of 2026, but I think moving ahead as well. And yeah, from a personal perspective, I really like your sound, what you've got going on, and yeah,
Thank
just
you,
keep
mate.
plugging away at it.
Thanks so much, mate. I appreciate that. Big time.
That's class.
Legend.
All that leaves me to say is to thank everyone for watching the latest This Is the Music Meets podcast. Please subscribe so you never miss out on any brand new episodes. And if you love this episode, then please do leave a like and a comment, as it really will help us and the artists that we interview to be discovered. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for another This Is the Music Meets podcast. And remember, the future is bright. The future is indie.